Welcome back to The Interval, a musical theatre podcast. Today, instead of talking about a specific musical, we're talking about a musical theatre person. This week, it's none other than Jeremy Jordan, star of everything, winner of nothing.
But maybe a Tony Award soon.
Most people, if you are listening to this podcast, you know an ounce of musical theatre, you know who Jeremy Jordan is. But for the sake of the select few people who don't, Tyler's going to give you a very detailed rundown that is in no way stalkerish of Jeremy Jordan. Please don't sue us.
So, as Jess said, if you're a fan of musical theatre, if you're at all aware of musical theatre and Broadway in particular, you'll already have heard of Jeremy Jordan. And if you haven't heard of him, and if you don't know who he is, you've probably heard his voice or seen him in something without realising, because this man has done a lot. Jeremy Jordan is an American actor, singer, and Broadway performer. He is 40 years old. He made his Broadway debut in 2009 as part of the Rock of Ages cast, and he has been in a lot of things since. After his Broadway debut, one of his most notable performances up until that point was being an alternate for the role of Tony in the 2009 revival of West Side Story, which was a performance that I believe put him on the map.
There's a couple of things that he's kind of most known for. We could be here for years we could be here for the last 5 years if we listed all of his roles. But there's a few that he's like most known for today. Obviously, the first one is Newsies. He originated the role of Jack Kelly, the main character in Newsies. He sung Santa Fe, and if you have not heard his rendition of Santa Fe, what are you doing? It's really good.
If you're new to the world of musical theatre, first, thank you for listening. Shocking that you've listened to 20 episodes of this.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
But if you are new to it, I would firmly recommend listening to the Newsies cast recording featuring Jeremy Jordan himself, because in my opinion it's a very good gateway music.
And he sings it amazingly and doesn't dance that much.
He does not like a dance.
Note how we didn't mention dancer in his bio but the man's a fantastic singer, fantastic actor, and a fantastic performer. He may not be a dancer, but he is an actor, singer, and a voice actor, because a lot of more recent fans, they may know him from Has Been Hotel, the animated series that we talked about lovingly in episode 15 of our very own podcast that I showed Tyler. Has Been Hotel. He plays Lucifer Morningstar.
He's a devil. He's also the father of Charlie, who's the main protagonist.
Another big role that Jeremy Jordan has been in is The Last 5 Years, which I haven't seen, but Tyler has.
Yeah,
many times.
The Last 5 Years is... Oh man, this is a weird one for me, because it's a musical I don't listen to a lot, but when I do listen to it, I remember why I love it so much.
What's it about? Don't say The Last 5 Years.
It's about the last 5 years, yes.
Oh man.
No, I can do that now, or I was gonna do that later as well. But I can do it now.
We can do it later because it just means people have to keep listening.
As to Jeremy Jordan's involvement in this, so he starred as Jamie, who is one of the main protagonists in the film adaptation of The Last 5 Years, which also starred Anna Kendrick.
There's two more notable musicals that he has been in, one of which is my personal favourite that he's ever been in, is Bonnie and Clyde. I'm a little bit biased because I've been listening to Jeremy Jordan songs all week in preparation for this episode, and very quickly got sidetracked with the Bonnie and Clyde musical on repeat, of which Jeremy Jordan plays Bonnie. I'm joking, he plays Clyde. Come on. He'd probably smash Bonnie as well, to be fair. He'd do really well at that. He originated that role and is on the soundtrack. You can also, if you want to watch the live recording, the pro shot of that, it is on the Bonnie and Clyde website. You do have to pay, or you can find somewhere else to watch it, but it's very good and it's well worth watching. Would you like to, Tyler, say the last role that he's known for, because we are going to see it soon?
The last role that he's probably best known for is originating the role of Jay Gatsby in the Broadway musical adaptation of the popular novel The Great Gatsby by
Who'd have
by
thought?
F. Scott Fitzgerald. The JD to Gatsby pipeline, as it's become known, is very strong because every Gatsby lead performer so far has also been JD in Heathers, including Jamie Moscato, who we will be seeing in the role
Whoop,
very,
whoop.
very soon.
Can't wait. Maybe it's just the J part that they were like, this gotta be fine.
Maybe.
That's all you need is the J. And obviously Jeremy Jordan, there's a lot of J's. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, you could be a Gatsby, Jess. Your name starts with J.
yay. I wouldn't want to be Gatsby.
Back to Jeremy. Those are the things that you've most likely seen or heard Jeremy Jordan in. But he's been in a lot of other things as well. And today we want to share some of our favourite roles and favourite performances.
We can comment on the likes of Newsies.
Yeah.
With good old Jack. Have you seen the pro shot of Newsies?
I have not, Jess, and if you listen to our Pro Shots episode, you would know that.
I'm sorry, that was like 3 episodes ago, and I can't remember that far back.
I haven't seen the Pro Shot of Newsies, unfortunately, because it was taken off Disney Plus. But I have listened to the cast recording extensively. I had a big hyperfixation with Newsies quite a long time ago.
Did you get a cap? Tell me you got a cap.
I didn't. I really wanted a cap.
So, for the uninitiated, Newsies is a musical about the Newsboys strike of 1899. It's a real life Newsboys strike in New York City. It features a ton of young newsies, which are like the people that hand out the newspapers when you're walking about. They go on strike to reject the increase in prices of the newspapers, which is affecting their wages. It's like one of the first major strikes, one of the first major unions that ever happens, and it's all run by young kids because they're all kids that work there. Then none of them are particularly old. It features the lead of Jack Kelly, who is like the head of the strike. It features Joseph Pulitzer, who is like the head of the newspaper. He's the guy that makes all the money, and he's the rich one. It features Catherine Plummer, the journalist who is writing all about the strikes. I will not reveal anything past that, though.
She's a really cool character, though, because back in the time where it was set, it wasn't very common to have a female reporter, and she's really, really cool.
She's really, really cool. And the music's by Alan Menken, so the guy who, wrote, I don't know, Hercules? Like the Disney film, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Pocahontas, Little Shop of Horrors, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tangled, Disenchanted, Enchanted. He knows what he's doing. It's a fantastic musical, and as we've said, Jeremy Jordan was the OG Broadway cast, which dropped on in 2012. It premiered in the Paper Mill Playhouse in 2011, but it hit Broadway in 2012 for 2 years until 2014, and also was in London in 2022. Though Jeremy Jordan was not in that.
I think it was like a bit of a sleeper hit on Broadway as well because it kept getting, it got well extended past its original closing date, and rightfully so because it was fantastic. It's also a show that I'd really like to just highlight the choreography because it's a very dancey show, and all of those newsboys doing those dances, fantastic.
Yep. It's very like ballet-esque.
Do we want to maybe recommend a couple of specific Jeremy Jordan songs from this?
I feel like we know which ones they're going to be.
I know which one yours is going to be.
I don't even need to look. I would highly recommend, if you haven't listened to Newsies and you want to listen to specifically Jeremy Jordan, Santa Fe is the first one. Like, without any shadow of a doubt, listen to Santa Fe. It will change your life.
I'd also like to recommend The World Will Know, which is it's just such a good, if you want a song to get you like hyped up, this is like the best song for that. This is the moment where like Jack sort of rallies all of the newsboys and says like, no, this is happening, we're going on strike and we're gonna show them.
Yep. Pulitzer may own the world, but he won't own us. It's a fantastic musical.
Jack Kelly is a very lovable protagonist, and a lot of that is down to, obviously there are many fantastic actors who have gone on to take on that role, but the fact that he's so lovable is very much down to how Jeremy Jordan chose to portray that character.
The next one I want to talk about, which is like, part of me kind of thinks it's underrated, but then the other part of me is like, surely not, because it's his role as Clyde in Bonnie and Clyde. This role is amazing. He played this a long time ago. In 2011, he also played Clyde in the West End concert in 2022. Fun little fact of the day, Jamie Moscato played Clyde in the Off West End production.
See, the Jeremy to Jamie pipeline, strong.
I think Jamie Moscato might be the English Jeremy Jordan. Or is Jeremy Jordan the American Jamie Moscato? In terms of age, no. But they have a similar range, apparently. This musical, oh my god, it is so good. I absolutely love it. If I can recommend a couple of songs, first one you should listen to is Raise a Little Hell. Listen to Santa Fe and Raise a Little Hell, one after the other, and remember this is in the same year. Insane. The range on this man is incredible. Raise a Little Hell is dark and it's twisted, and you've got to imagine, preferably watch the YouTube video, because he's tearing a bar off of a prison bed to go and beat someone to death with. And it's very raspy, it's very JD-esque. It's really good.
We all know that I love an unhinged protagonist.
You will love Clyde Barrow. The next one is When I Drive. This is sung by Clyde and his brother Buck, who are talking about their love for driving cars. It's very funny. It gives off very Balaga vibes.
Balaga
vibes from Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. It's very good. Highly recommend. Last one that I would recommend is You're Going Back to Jail, which doesn't have Clyde Barrow in it. I'm not going to say any more than that, but if you trust us, listen to that song. It will make you laugh so much. Jeremy Jordan, fantastic in Bonnie and Clyde. If you don't know what it is, it's basically Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow are two criminals, very, very, very famous criminals in history. If you don't know who they are, Google them, learn some history, because they're really cool. They're like lovers, and they do loads of robberies and the occasional murder if they so choose. I promise you, every single song in it is a banger. Even the one that starts off a little bit preachery, keep going. Absolute tune. And Jeremy Jordan is amazing in it. Thank you for coming to my Bonnie and Clyde TED Talk.
Thank you for delivering it. I had absolutely nothing of value to add to that.
You've not seen it yet. Just wait. It's going to change your life. Speaking of things, you haven't seen Bonnie and Clyde. I've not seen the last 5 years. And you wanted to talk about Jamie. Everyone's talking about Jamie. Not that one, though.
I do want to talk about Jamie, but I also don't want to talk about Jamie because Jamie Wellerstein
Good name.
is a dick.
But I listened to one of the songs and he sounded really sweet. Talking about like he wants 10 minutes of her life, and that was really cute.
Best song in the show.
You can give me some context and spoilers, because I kind of know the ending. I've heard the You Know What Makes Me Nuts song.
Okay, that's not the one. I don't think that's the one at the end, but I know what you mean. The last 5 years is indeed about the last 5 years, but it is about the last 5 years of a marriage. The beginning of the relationship between Jamie and Kathy, and it tells the story of 5 years up until they get divorced, sadly. But the way it's told is really clever. So, the entire musical alternates between Kathy songs and Jamie songs. Kathy's songs start at the moment she finds out that Jamie has left and is filing for divorce. Her songs move backwards in time, and Jamie's songs start right after they first get together, and they move forward. So their two timelines only come together once.
That's so cool. Is that the You Know What Makes Me Nuts? The fact that we can be together here together, spending our night, spending our time, and you'd rather choose someone else to be with?
No. That was
a really good rendition. I love that song.
Jess's audition for Kathy.
Thank you.
Everyone.
It was not. I could do that so much better.
The only time that their timelines converge is during the next 10 minutes, which they sing at their wedding. This musical is just fantastic. I think the songs are Wonderful. Oh, my fun fact. It is time.
Oh, yes, it is time. Settle down, everybody. It's time for Tyler's fun fact.
This musical was written by Jason Robert Brown. Do we all remember what other musical he has written?
That name rings a bell. What did he write?
Jason Robert Brown was also the creator of Jess's favourite musical, 13.
Oh my god, that's so cool! Well, at least he did something right. I'm joking, 13 is really well written. That's really cool. That is a fun fact.
When him and Kathy first meet, Jamie is a aspiring author. He wants to be a writer, and he does. And he has a best-selling book and becomes very popular.
And he becomes a knob, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets very egotistical. He ends up cheating on Kathy, and yeah, she's an aspiring actor, so that's sort of her arc in the show.
What songs would you recommend for Jeremy Jordan?
I was gonna recommend a Kathy.
That's fine. I recommended a Blanche song for Bonnie and Clyde.
There's a really good song called "A Summer in Ohio." It's her video chatting to Jamie and describing what her summer has been like in Ohio, and it's just been like very hellish and horrible. But it's really, really funny. In terms of Jamie songs, though, I'm gonna recommend the final duet of the musical, which is called "Goodbye Until Tomorrow" / "I Could Never Rescue You." And in this song, Kathy is all giddy and excited because they just had their first date. And in Jamie's version of the song, Jamie is writing a letter to Kathy, basically telling them that he doesn't want to try and save their marriage. So it's really sad. I'd also just like to mention the fact that the very last notes of this song are also the very first notes of the first song. And we love a musical loop. To paint him in a slightly nicer light before he becomes an arsehole. He has a song called "Shik's a Goddess," which is the second song in the musical. It's really fun. It's basically just about Kathy and how much he likes her, and because he is Jewish, he's never like been able to date outside of like his heritage.
I've heard that one. He's saying like you could have a tattoo, you could smoke, and it would be fine, but you're not Jewish, and that is my grandfather's gonna die. Like he's rolling in his grave. Fun fact of the day as well: Jeremy Jordan is actually Jewish.
Oh, I didn't know that. In the interest of me spending hours talking about the last 5 years, I'm sure we'll have a dedicated episode to this show at some point because I have a lot I could say, but that is it. That is my pitch for the last 5 years. I would recommend listening to the songs I just mentioned. I would recommend watching the film if you can. It's readily available on streaming services. That's my TED Talk about the last 5 years.
Obviously, we've gone through his most known things and our favourite roles, but there's so much that this man has been in that we need a section for honourable mentions. One of those is similar to the last 5 years. It's a film, and it's also one of my villain origin stories. If you know anything about good old Jeremy Jordan, you likely know the Greatest Showman debacle. They brought him in as the sitz probe for Philip Carlisle and P.T. Barnum, so the two lead characters, Hugh Jackman's role and Zac Efron's role. He was meant to be playing P.T. Barnum, and after doing all the sitz probes, so basically he sung all the songs for like the when they promote the musical to like the producers and stuff and try and get money for it. He was that role, and in that sitz probe they basically said to him, yeah, no, we've hired Zac Efron. So Zac Efron did that. In the same time, Hugh Jackman had just had surgery, so good old Jeremy Jordan stepped in to sing his songs. There is a clip of this, and it really irritates me. He sung From Now On. Fantastic cover. This guy is such a good singer. He belted this out amazingly. Find it on YouTube. Find Jeremy Jordan From Now On from The Great Showman and see. Everyone's getting really into it. Then suddenly, Hugh Jackman interrupts him and finishes the song.
What?
Fully. Right?
Sit down, Hugh.
I wish I was joking. He interrupts him and sings the song. He was meant to be singing the whole song for the producers and the money people for the film, and Hugh took over completely unscripted and interrupted him in the song. And it really annoys me because if you've watched that clip, Jeremy smashes that song, and he should have been Philip Carlisle. It would have been so much better to have him and Zendaya singing. No offense, Zac Efron, because you're great and like you were good. It was a good song, and I do really like the film. But like Jeremy Jordan, and watch him singing from now on because he does do it quite a lot in concerts. Usually rants a couple of minutes beforehand of what happened, and he's fantastic in it. And to this day, it annoys me so much that it's not him in this musical because he would have been so good. And the fact that Jeremy Jordan helped the film get greenlit and then was never in it, so irritating. I hate it. I hate it so much. And he basically single-handedly saved the musical. Well, single-handedly, but he saved the musical. That was one of my honorable mentions. It really irritates me. But check out the videos because they're really good, and the way he sings it is amazing. Jeremy Jordan, that is, not Hugh Jackman. Sorry, Hugh. Not really. You stole Beetlejuice's theatre. I still have a grudge. Do you want to do the next one? Do you want to talk about Finding Neverland? Because he was in it before Will Schuester.
So, Finding Neverland is a musical adaptation of the 2004 film of the same name. It's all about the author J.M. Barrie, who was the creator of Peter Pan. So this musical tells the story of J.M. Barrie and his interactions with a young widow called Sylvia and her 4 young children, one of which is called Peter, who is the namesake of Peter Pan. And it's just about him meeting this family and bonding with the children, and they inspire him to write, and he inspires the second to youngest boy, Peter, to sort of find his imagination again and be a bit less cynical about the world. Like, bless him, he's only a little boy, but he basically becomes like really, really depressed after his dad passes away, and like he can't find, like his siblings still like to play and use their imaginations and things and be excited about life and have childhood wonder, and he doesn't really until he meets J.M. Barrie, and he wants to be a writer as well, like him. So when this musical was originally being adapted, J.M. Barrie was played by none other than Jeremy Jordan in the workshops. I'm not going to deep dive Finding Neverland right now. If you want to know a little bit more about it, listen to our Pro Shots episode.
It's very good. We'll have to do a full episode on it soon because I've not seen it or heard it.
Again, this is just another fantastic role that Jeremy Jordan helped create and originate.
Jeremy Jordan, the man who keeps musicals alive. The next one, it does not include any sort of keeping musicals alive. It kind of includes killing people in musicals, not real life. Jeremy Jordan, when Little Shop of Horrors came back onto Broadway, there was a variety of very, very big Broadway stars that played its I was going to say titular character, not really. That played its protagonist and the dentist. Not both characters, but you get my gist. Jonathan Groff is in the Broadway recording of Little Shop of Horrors, and it is amazing. However, I wouldn't be telling you this if Jeremy Jordan had not already played Seymour. He played Seymour in a couple of runs on, well, not a couple of runs, in a couple of months on the Little Shop of Horror run, and it is by far one of the funniest renditions of Seymour I've ever seen. This man has gone from playing like has gone from playing like Clyde and Jamie and, well, not Gatsby at that point, and like Jack Kelly into Seymour, and he is the goofiest Seymour ever. It is hilarious. And there is one part that is mostly my honourable mention where he is playing Seymour and Christian Borle, as in Emmett, is playing Emmett the Love of Our Lives is playing the dentist, and he is the funniest guy at the dentist. It's hilarious. There's a clip where Christian Borle basically spends the entire time trying to break Jeremy Jordan on stage, and does it successfully most of the time. There's various clips on YouTube of him being broken on stage, and it's very funny. Those two are so funny on stage, and Jeremy Jordan is hilarious to watch. But also, there is a clip of him singing. Well, he sings "Grow for Me" on Spotify, and it's amazing. The way he hits those notes, outstanding. I love it. He wasn't in that show for long, but he was so funny. It was such a good rendition of that musical. I loved it. I think we should move on to the one that we both really want to talk about. So, for probably, ironically, the last 5 years, I have had a song on my musicals playlist. In fact, it's not even a song. It isn't technically on Spotify, so it was done in the form of a podcast, and it's called Where Is the Justice? And I loved it because I used to watch an anime called Death Note. We all did. If you're a cool kid like us, you did watch Death Note. It's great. If you haven't, watch Death Note. It's great. I loved this song. It's basically about a guy who gets hold of a book and that has the power to kill people, and he uses it to try and stand for justice and turn it black and white instead of colour, where if you do something wrong, you die. You know, it's slightly morally questionable.
He uses it to like clean up society.
Yeah, I loved this song, and I used to listen to it for years until last year when I realised the protagonist, Light, is none other than Jeremy Jordan, and it blew my little mind.
It's really cool, and there's a lot of stage adaptations of anime, especially that obviously get staged in Japan. They're getting more common in the West now, I'd say, especially with like the Studio Ghibli adaptations. But yeah, this is just if you like anime and you want to get into musicals, go and listen to this concept album because it's fantastic.
It's so good. He doesn't actually he never even touched the stage for it. He purely is the voice of like Yagami in the English concept album. And I didn't know that until I want to say I'm pretty confident it was last year, and I was blown away because it. Where is the Justice? If you want to listen to any of the songs, that is the one. Is so powerful, and he sings it amazingly. Age of Madness. Do you know what that is? Probably not. If you do, fair play. You're right into the musical theatre indie music scene, which is very niche. This is basically the band that Jeremy Jordan is in. It is a heavy rock band, as I just said, called Age of Madness, and they have recently done they've got a new album which is inspired by Greek mythology. It's called Mount Olympus, which obviously, if you have listened to our Epic the Musical episode, I am quite interested in. We are quite interested in, but poor Tyler didn't get to speak. They've currently got 3 songs out. One is Apollo, one is Ares, and one is Hephaestus. But they slap. They're so good. Ares is probably my favourite because it's a heavy metal version of Seven Nation Army. Would highly recommend. It's basically a heavy metal rock band of which Jeremy Jordan is the lead singer. And you should listen to it. If you are in any sense into like faster paced, heavier music, this is the stuff. It's gonna quickly become my new obsession, so don't be surprised if next week I'm holding space for an Age of Madness song, or it'll be something incredibly niche. All of those musicals, so we're talking, right? Newsies, Has Been Hotel, Bonnie and Clyde, Great Gatsby, Last 5 Years, Little Shop of Horrors. He was in Heathers, as we mentioned, The Great Gatsby. He was in Supergirl, the TV show, Tangled, the animated series. Tyler, how many Tonys has this man won?
Jeremy Jordan has not won a single Tony.
What's that about?
I believe he has been part of quite a few productions that have won various Tonys for various things, but he's never won.
Yeah.
He's never won like a leading actor performance for a Tony, but that might change in 2025 because he is currently nominated.
What's he nominated for?
He is nominated for playing the role of Floyd Collins in the musical Floyd Collins.
Who'd have thought? What a shock. What's the musical Who's the Guy? I'm assuming it's the same answer.
So Floyd Collins was an American cave explorer who became trapped and died in what became Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky in America. This happened in the 1920s, and the musical is about his final exploration and his attempted rescue and his death. If you're in the mood for something that will make you cry in the same way Next Normal will make you cry, I assume this would be a good choice. Tune in a few weeks because we will be reacting to the Tony Awards this year and the winners.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say we'll be reacting to the Floyd Collins musical. I was like, I don't know about that yet. Give it time. We've got so many musicals we need to react to. But yes, the Tonys is on June. No, it's not, is it? It is June the. Why am I guessing? Tony Awards. The Tonys is on June the 9th, technically at like 1 a.m. England time, BST. And we will be reacting to the winners because it's star-studded, and I hope to everything that Jeremy Jordan actually gets a Tony, because the man deserves one so hard. He is amazing, and I hope one day that me and Tyler get to go to New York, or if he wants to come over to London, that we get to see him. I have no more closing remarks on Jeremy Jordan other than what a man, what a CV. He could play Anatole. That's my closing remark. Anatole is hot. That's all I'm saying.
Shall we hold some space?
Hold some Jeremy Jordan themed space. Tyler, what are you holding space for today? And is it Jeremy Jordan?
It is Jeremy Jordan, but specifically, I'd like to hold space for the Newsies Tony Awards performance, in which they perform a number that has a very large dance break, which takes up at least half of the song. So Jeremy Jordan begins the song by singing, and then he seemingly vanishes until the dance break ends. And I just find it quite impressive how he clearly wants to avoid dancing.
Tyler sent me this video before we started this recording, and like if you watch it with the mindset of where's Jeremy Jordan, he fully leaves the stage. He's gone.
So he comes back to finish the song, and it's a fantastic performance.
Oh, it's a very good performance, but it's made even better by the fact he just it's kind of the same way that I think me and Tyler would look at dancing on stage. As soon as it breaks out, we'd leave. Unless it's Consider Yourself, then we'd smash it.
What are you holding space for this week, Jess, and is it Jeremy Jordan?
It is, in fact, the Jeremy Jordan. This is a clip that I found on YouTube a while ago. In 54 Below, one of my favourite places in the world that we will be doing an episode on soon, which it just feels like we've been saying that constantly this week. It's Jeremy Jordan singing Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me Now, and oh my god, it is quite possibly one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. It's 7.5 minutes of amazing, amazing singing. There is a point about 5 minutes in, if you watch the video, if you just type in Jeremy Jordan It's All Coming Back to Me Now, you'll get it. About 5 minutes in, he starts singing that peak of the Celine Dion song where it's like, baby, baby, and goes into it. Halfway through, he stops himself with a very passionate no, and then decides to do the same thing, opt it up, all while keeping in beat, keeping the music on track, and smashing every minute of it. My soul left my body, and I'm not sure it's come back. I sent this to Tyler. I'm pretty sure his soul left his body at the same time. I said to him, when I sent him this, give it a minute, you'll know the point I'm talking about. He knew the point I was talking about. Fantastic song. The vocals on that man is outstanding. How he has not got a Tony, I'd give him a Tony for that. And I would like to hold space for it because that song needs all the space it can get. Next week, we are giving you a little review. We're changing the format because me and Tyler are going on a field trip.
We're going on a field trip and we're doing a review because we've done that professionally sometimes.
We have done that professionally. It won't be as professional. It never is. But me and Tyler are going to see The Great Gatsby in very good Jeremy Jordan theme. He's not there, but Jamie Moscato is, as is Rachel Tucker and Wildcat Corbin Bleu himself.
It is star-studded.
So tune in next week to hear what we and we will be going deep into it. Hear what we thought about the staging, the lighting, the casting, the songs, the everything of The Great Gatsby. So if you're thinking of seeing it, wait next week, see what you think, see what we thought of it, and then see if you want to buy it. Or buy them, see what we thought, and just go anyway.
You don't need money when you're famous.
You don't need money when you're famous.
They gives you whatever you want.
They gives you whatever they want. Whatever you want. not what they want. That's the opposite. See you next week.
Bye.